benefit of online learning is that you have an opportunity to reach more people. We're actually an internationally diverse campus, and so we have students who are registered for our classes that are all over the world.
Many of our citizens now need to be educated at a more advanced level, and the only way in which they can achieve that is through e-learning. So I think that's been one of the primary benefits and continues to be a great driver for the importance of e-learning.
E-learning answers and solves problems for many potential students that would not be able to access education any other way.
The online aspect of e-learning is critical for the Wodonga Middle Years College because what it does is provide opportunities for excellence.
Technology changes our role from being providers of learning to being organizations that support students in the provision of their own learning.
The classroom of the future will be a very flexible classroom, maybe down the track of learning at home or learning sort of anywhere.
I think that it's headed away from the institution and toward the individual. Right now, learning is what they call bundled. It's pre-packaged and you get it from a single supplier. And I think in the future, people will manage their own learning, and instead of simply obtaining learning from an institution, they'll create their own learning.
I'm not sure that there is a classroom necessarily in the future. I think that the classroom of the future is in a car, or it's in somebody's office, or it's in somebody's home. It is wherever the learner is where the classroom is going to be.
It's not necessarily one with walls, and it's not necessarily one with a start and finish time.
We selected Desire2Learn after a very rigorous evaluation process. We went to European tender, we ran hosted systems so that students and staff could compare the products. We had demonstrations. It went on for about 6 weeks of intensive comparison of product, and Desire2Learn was the hands down winner, clear front leader.
Desire2Learn came in and did just a wonderful presentation. Faculty were excited, students were asking how quickly it could be installed, and it was just it was a unanimous decision for us that Desire2Learn would be the product of choice.
The main criteria was how is this going to impact on learning, and how is this going to impact on creating an engaging learning environment. And so that was the bit that was the most compelling with Desire2Learn.
Desire2Learn was overwhelmingly the choice of everyone involved in the process.
I've worked with WebCT and I've worked with Blackboard and a little bit with Angel. My daughter was at the U last year still working in WebCT, so I had to pull things out of my hat to remember things to help her, because her teacher didn't know how to use WebCT, but the class was in WebCT. And then I showed her what we were using. I think Desire2Learn is more intuitive. It's more, you can't just say user-friendly because everybody says that, but it's very more intuitive that you don't have to be a real techie person. I can sit down, a brand new faculty person, and in 30 minutes or so, show them all the menus, show them how to do the real basic stuff. WebCT, I couldn't do that. It would be a day or two training. So I'm happy that I can get people started, get their feet wet, and get them going in just a matter of a few minutes.
Students on the whole, particularly in the pure online environment, have been very happy with the overall performance of the platform.
By comparison, I worked with in WebCT before Desire2Learn, and WebCT really didn't provide me with an environment that was easy to use in terms of bringing in my content or interacting with my students or having students interact with one another. My mother has multiple sclerosis. She's basically bound to the confines of her home for the most part. She's found a new world in being able to educate herself and take courses online. And it's completely changed her outlook on things. She's definitely empowered to learn.
I know that Every night we're processing literally hundreds of thousands of course enrollments for students that are getting into courses, you know, all across the educational spectrum, from the sciences to the humanities and the social sciences, and that having worked on any number of campuses, I know that there are great teachers out there with passion for their subjects, and you know, like I said, there's literally hundreds of thousands of course enrollments going on for all these students. They're getting access to these great resources, and you know, every day, whatever else happens, whatever problems I encounter, I know that we're helping make those connections, and that those people, those are the real relationships that I think is a major part of our mission, that we're creating the conditions for education, and to me that's exciting.
Students in an online environment express themselves more readily and in a different way. They open up in a different way than they do face-to-face. So community has taken on a new meaning, and it's very exciting to see that happen.
A learning management system like Desire2Learn is critical for a system because it allows the students to connect with their parents and their teachers in a more distributed environment.
The biggest quantifier would be the increased amount of faculty members who are using Desire2Learn. The company we were with before, the numbers were fairly low, but every year as we continue to do more and more with D2L and get the word out more and more, is that number has just really risen. I think we've increased over the last 3 years of our faculty members using it, we've increased over 75%.
We had about 300 courses when we changed course management systems. And within a year we were up to 800. Now we're up well over 1,200.
It's allowed us to unite people across our entire system.
Since we've been with Desire2Learn, we've now won a joint grant with the JISC in the United Kingdom and Desire2Learn and Nottingham Trent University to look at learning object repositories and the barriers for academics using and reusing other people's resources. So we feel that we've got a really good partnership. We share the success.
We've just found it to be probably one of the best investments that we've made as an institution in technology. It's nice to see a company be so supportive of their clients and work so closely with their clients.
As a company, it's a company that listens to people, to the end user. And to me, that's really an important feature. If that weren't there, I think that'd be really disappointing. But that's the thing that impresses me the most, is how much they listen to the people who use the tool, because a lot of companies don't do that today.
I really enjoy working with the staff along product development and in terms of being able to get support when we need it. They're really friendly and cooperative, and it's been a great experience.
While it has grown over the years, it's still a small company, and the ability to receive personal attention and an understanding of what our needs are, that's been very, very helpful.
From the developers to support, everybody has been like, hey, what can we do to help? What can we do to make your process or your experience even better with working with our corporation?
They're a great organization to work with. They're very energetic, very committed.
They're just really approachable, and they've been really helpful and supportive.
Desire2Learn is the sort of company that you feel like you're part of the family.
It's fun to work with these folks.